Welcome to the Clack Shack. I had to go today and get some more plywood, the 1/4-inch Luan that I use to cut some of my shapes and stuff out. And they didn't have the stuff that I usually get. Everybody asks me all the time, how do I get my sheets cut down to the 16 by 16 that I use. And so today I'm gonna kind of walk you through the process and how I do that. I was just going to take a minute for those of you that maybe this is something that you might be interested in, to be able to take those big sheets of plywood that you might get at the hardware store and cut that stuff down in the shapes and sizes that you want. The way this works is this base basically clamps onto your skill saw, and then this piece here has got a ruler built into it, and you can set it all the way down to pretty much anything out to 24 inches that you want to set it at, and you can use it to cut sheet material even if you don't have a table saw. I have a table saw, but it's a small one, and the way I've got it set up, it doesn't do good with plywood, so I'd rather use this. So if this is something you're interested in, I'll put a link to it in the description. but with a skill saw and the Kregg jig that I've got on my skill saw, you can get them relatively close. I mean, you can get them exact if you want to take your time, but my goal is to get them, you know, plus or minus a ½ inch in a 16 by 16 so that it'll fit in my workspace. So that's 4 sheets of the Luan. It was $25 a sheet this morning, tax and everything. That stack of wood cost me $109. And of course I'll turn that into a whole bunch of different cuts. It is a little different color than what I'm used to getting, so I'm kind of curious to see how it burns. This is what I've been getting, this poplar, and it cuts pretty good and it grays pretty well. I'm not real sure about this stuff. I might have to find me a different place to get it if that's what they're going to start carrying. But I'm going to try a piece of it and see how it does. And this is a very small circle. I don't really want to destroy an entire sheet because I'm pretty sure the same setting should work unless they've used some type of different wood. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my air assist and my table on and see if we can knock this little circle out. And that speed again is 6 millimeters per second at 100% power. 3 passes, and I've got the air assist running as well. So hopefully it'll cut through it. It may actually cut through it quicker. I don't know. This is the first time I've cut any of this different color. I don't know if it's just a stain that they put on it or what. Okay, I'm hearing the hissing on the air assist, so apparently it's already cut through it on 2 passes. Let's see what happens on the third here. Well, this stuff's a little more stubborn than what I've been using, so I'm gonna have to go back up to my 4 and try that and see what happens. But I'm just gonna put it right around the other one. Go ahead and run it. I'm kind of cutting half of the other circle, but I really don't care. Like I said, I'm trying to keep from messing up a whole section of a sheet of this wood. So this is definitely going to be a little bit harder wood than what I've been getting. And I don't know exactly what it's made out of, but it's got a different grain for sure. God, I thought I saw it drop then. Yeah, it dropped then. So 4 passes cut it all the way. I'm gonna split this to see what the 3 passes did on the other side. Yeah, the 3 passes almost got the other side, but it seems like this stuff's gonna like 4 passes, which it is definitely a little harder wood than what I've been getting. So I'm gonna do one more burn on the opposite corner of this sheet just to see if it's consistent across the sheet. Let me check, see if my focus is actually set. I caught myself setting it earlier. Yes, it is set. Yeah, this stuff is definitely a little harder than what I've been working with. Not too sure I like it. I'm gonna slow my speed down to 5 millimeters per second. Now that I've got the air assist, I'm a little more comfortable going a little slower, so I'm gonna try that. Let me rehome, because I moved it by hand just now. I don't want to slam into the rails. Well, that one just fell, and it hasn't quite made the 4th pass, so yeah, slowing it down a little bit definitely helped it out. That one completely fell out, so I know that one's cut. All right, we'll play around here and do 3 passes. If I change the speed. Okay, so both of those fell out clean. Running just 3 passes. So let me check and make sure this stuff's the same thickness too. Okay, that's the reason why it's a little harder to cut there, I think. This is actually 4.8 millimeters thick. My other stuff that I had was 4.3 or 4.5. So it's just a little bit thicker. It's not a bad thing, except for a couple of my designs that I've got for boxes and whatnot kind of depend on it being 4.5. So I may have to retool those if I have to keep using this particular wood. But it's 4.8 millimeters thick. That's going to be the variable, I think. The reason it's not cutting quite as easy as my other stuff was. But what I will do is cut a quick shape out just to see. There it goes. The horseshoe appears to have cut out really well, so that it's got one little spot sticking. Yeah, this plywood's a lot tougher than what I'm used to. So definitely gonna have to make some adjustments, but where I live, there's not a whole lot to pick from unless you want to drive an hour. So I'm gonna adjust my recipe, and maybe next time I go into town, I can try to find some of the stuff I'm used to. But I mean, I may begin to like this stuff. I don't know. It's a little thicker. It is a lot stiffer. So I mean, I guess I could probably get better intricate designs out of it. But yeah, it works. It cuts clean. It's smooth, but it's taking a little more power to get through it than what I'm used to. So I'm gonna have to work on that. All right, guys, that's the gist of it. I did have to use my little roll around table, which normally I'd use my sawhorses, but I got them tied up on another project I'm working on. I had a little trouble keeping it still, but it's normally not quite that much of a pain. But I hope this helps you out. And like I said, I know, you know, some of you may prefer to get the craft wood from different places. And if you live in a big city to where you have a store that has that stuff available at an affordable price, then and that works for you, that's great. But for those of us that maybe live back in rural communities, and you know, we've got two places in town that sell lumber. One of them is a regional or area chain, and the other one is a privately owned wood yard. And so my options for the type of wood that I use are very limited. It's about an hour drive for me to go to a Lowe's or a Home Depot or anything like that that would have, you know, a little more selection. So I try to make do with what I got and keep my money here in town, keep it local for the guys that you know, work at these places. And so I try to, even if I have to adapt or whatever, as long as it'll serve the purpose and as long as it'll work, I try to adapt and use it. So I'm not saying that this is the best approach for everybody, but I think there's some people out there that are in the same situation I am, and maybe this, you know, this will help you out. Because if you can't get, you know, the place that you're buying it to cut it up for you, and you have to cut it at home, then instead of having to have a huge table saw, now you know there's another way that you can do it that doesn't require, you know, constant, you know, marking with a pencil and cutting, marking with a pencil and cutting. So I hope the video helped you out and or entertained you or whatever. But appreciate you stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day.